Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. So today I made it up to the Baltimore Maryland Auto Show. At first I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is, but it's actually pretty big. There are lots of cars here and lots of people as well. So we're going to take a look around, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to look at every manufacturer and I'm not going to look at every car. That would get boring. But there are certain cars I want to look at and talk about, certain things I want to highlight. So that's what we're going to do today. So here we go. So we're going to start in the Chevy section, and yeah, okay, here are some okay Chevys, but the crowd seems to be sort of migrating towards one of the particular Chevys, the one I'm attracted to, and that's the Corvette. And again, beautiful C8 Corvette. The C8s are the mid-engine Corvettes, which came out in 2019, and you know, the Stingray, the Corvette Stingray starts at about 66,000, but I don't know if I've ever seen one available, and they're probably over list. And again, if you can get it, they're just fantastic, world-class supercars, and starting at 66,000 is just unbelievable. And you know, it's mid-engine, that's why there's such a large rear section. And this, it's kind of cool. You see on the rear deck the Stingray emblem. Really, really cool. And they actually have a little trunk in the back behind the engine. Kind of looks bigger in this video than it actually is. It's very, very small, so don't expect to put too much in there. And let's look back here. And we've got some older cars right back here, and hey! Oh, look at that. To the right of that old Chevy is a Dodge Rampage, which is kind of a El Camino version of an old, 80s Dodge Charger. We saw a 55 or a 56. I don't think it's a 57 Chevy. And this is a 1960 Chevy Bel Air. So again, really great to see the old cars here. And there are a bunch of them. Not just new cars at this show. There are sections where there are some old cars. This is a great dedication to those who've served and those who have made this country great and free. So it's just a fantastic, I don't know if it's a paint job or a wrap. I would guess it's a wrap. But again, dedicated to those who've made our country free and have sacrificed for all of us. There was a QR code right there. And I scanned it because I thought it was going to tell more of the story of this truck. But when I scanned it, it brought me to a website where they wanted my information for the local Chevy dealer to try to sell me a car. So it's too bad. I wanted to know more about that. Going over to Ford, this is a 2023 Mustang. And again, still a beautiful muscle car. Still very, very popular. And you see them all over the road, and they're still selling very well. And to contrast, this is the 2024 Mustang, which isn't out yet. And again, Ford very bravely is one of the only car companies that's still going to have a pony car, a V8-powered muscle car. 2023 is the last year for the Dodge V8 muscle cars, the Chargers and Challengers. 2024 is the last year for the Camaro. But Ford will live on. This is the 7th generation Ford Mustang coming out in 2024. And they'll still be V8 powered. Really cool design. The rear end looks a little wider than the 2023s. The rear end almost has some styling cues from the Camaro. But again, great looking car. They've already announced the Dark Horse version, which is bumped up horsepower. And I suppose after a year or two, they'll also come out with the supercharged Cobra Mustang and so forth. But again, so great. They call this a Mustang, the Mach-E. I don't know why they just didn't call it something completely different, but this, of course, is all electric. The Mustang Mach-E, all-electric SUV, and they've been very popular. They're 0 to 60 times very fast, especially for the GT version. The interiors of the electrics, no analog gauges at all. I kind of miss those. You could at least have a speedometer. Obviously, there's not going to be a temperature gauge or anything like that, but no analog gauges in these new cars, the new electrics, that is. Seems most of them are following suit. Teslas, of course, have been this way for a while. And let's take a look under the hood and see the engine, and no engine. This is the front trunk. Where is the engine in electric cars? It's very interesting. A lot of people don't realize how these things are put together. So let's take a look. Here's the Mach-E, and let's take a look at a translucent version so we can see under the skin. We see an electric motor between the two front wheels, and we see an electric motor between the two back wheels. So this is a four-wheel drive, an all-wheel drive, and under the passenger compartment, you see the black batteries. So basically, that's it for the powertrain. It's a very simple powertrain. This is the way most electric cars are put together. Very simple, a lot fewer moving parts than our beautiful gas-powered cars. And here's the Ford Lightning, the Ford F-150 Lightning truck. Very anticipated, highly anticipated, and when it came out, they sold very well. I'll be honest, though, they've been a real disappointment because the range has been horrible. If you're towing or if you're in colder weather, the range is like half of what they advertised. And, they start at about 56,000, and they go up to, for an extended range version, the F-150 Lightning Platinum, it's almost 100,000 for these. So again, they're very expensive. Again, if you're towing and going any distance at all, really, it's really not going to do well. And I don't see how these are going to really sell well as work trucks. I think really they were more a novelty, and for people that were just couldn't wait to get their hands on an electric truck, they went for the F-150 Lightning. But for right now, I think gas, diesel is still the way to go, and hopefully they'll still be available for a while. Again, here's the interior, no analog gauges. And let's take a closer look at the interior and the instrument panel. Hey, at least there are some buttons on the steering wheel, so that's a good sign. But we just have digital screens, digital displays. And of course, all the electric cars took Tesla's lead as far as that goes. And let's see if we can take a look at the back. The rear seats on this crew cab are pretty much the same as the gas. It's got a lot of utility. And that's the F-150 Lightning. And if you don't have the money to spend on one of those, you can still get a Ranger, gas-powered Ranger truck. These mid-size trucks have been very popular. The Rangers and the Ford Mavericks, which are a little smaller. Here's one thing that's great about this Ranger. It's got a regular handle to put down the tailgate. A lot of these new vehicles, these new pickup trucks, they have an electric lift gate in the back, an electric tailgate. I don't know what the purpose of that is. It's so easy to just open and close the tailgate, but, whatever. And they've got something for everybody. They've got a lot of stuff for kids so that the parents have an excuse to go to the car show because the kids will have something to do themselves. And actually, I wish I could have tried this, but there was a big long line. This is kind of cool. Wouldn't mind having one of these in my basement, or even living room. Very cool. But for adult toys, this is what I'd rather have. And I do have one actually, but this is a Challenger. And this is a 392 Scat Pack. This, of course, will be the last year that you'll see Challengers and Chargers at the auto show because 2023 is the last year for these. And the Washington, D.C. Auto Show brought a couple of Hellcats, Chargers and Challengers, but not so here. We have, again, the 392 Scat Pack Challenger. And next to it, we have an RT with a 5.7 liter V8, although it does have a shaker hood, which is really cool. Again, great cars, great for the money, but this is the last year for the Challengers and Chargers. Although they say there will be a Charger, an all-electric Charger, totally different vehicle, but goodbye V8s. I think it's a big mistake for Dodge, but this is the way they're going. It's a Dodge Hornet, and this will be coming in turbocharged 4-cylinders as well as plug-in hybrid. But is this really a Dodge? It's actually not a Dodge. It's an Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of the car brands under the Stellantis umbrella. Of course, as we've discussed previously, Dodge and Jeep and Chrysler are part of the Stellantis conglomerate, which is a European car conglomerate. So yes, this Alfa Romeo Tonale will wear the Dodge badges, and of course there are some differences. I mean, they've tweaked the interior, they've tweaked some of the body styling, some of the panels, but the underpinnings are basically the same car. And in the segment, in this compact or subcompact SUV, this is probably one of the highest performers. Here's a Toyota RAV4. And again, these have been very popular. That's why the Hornets are getting into this segment, why Dodge is getting into it. But the RAV4 has been very popular. It's kind of a boring vehicle, though, whereas the Dodge will be performance-oriented. It will be fast. It will handle great. But in this segment, the RAV4s have done well. The Honda CR-Vs have done very well. But again, you know, it's kind of a boring car. Boring and, quote, practical. So, but if you want something a little more high performance that's a Toyota, this is what you want, a Supra. These Supras are really great, high performance, and actually, as the Hornet isn't really a Dodge, the Supra is really kind of a BMW. BMW and Toyota work together on this vehicle, and the Toyota version is the Supra, the BMW version is the Z4, and they both are priced similarly. They start off with a 4-cylinder at about $43,000, and the 6-cylinder is in the 50s, $52,000 to the $58,000 range. But again, really fun cars, great looking cars as well. This Toyota Supra is just a fantastic looking car. Really like it. And you know, Toyota really does have something for everybody. You can, of course, get into a Toyota Tundra truck. They've been trying to break into the pickup truck business, the work truck business for a long time, but this Tundra, it goes for like $70,000 the way it's priced out. Very expensive. And of course, you're competing with great trucks from Ford and GM Chevy and Ram. So not an easy task, especially when these are as expensive as they are. The Tacomas, mid-size trucks, are a little more affordable. So, and they're good trucks too. The mid-size trucks are again kind of making a resurgence as far as popularity. So again, these are great vehicles. Let's go over to Nissan. Now, the Nissan Leaf was one of the first mass-produced electric cars on the market, and when they first came out, I think their range was something like 35 miles or something, but of course now the range is a lot more. It's about 149 for the basic Leaf, and for the extended range version with the 60 kilowatt-hour battery, it's about over 200 miles. And the Nissan also has the Aria M-Power, which is what this is. It's an all-electric SUV. And the range on these is around 300 miles. They go for about 50 to 55,000. So here you go, a lot of electrics coming out. And of course, the Nissan Z car. Again, they're smart. They're still making a very exciting halo car. The Z is a fun car to drive still. And they're pretty reasonably priced for what you get. I mean, they start at around $41,000 and they go up to about in the mid-50s. Twin turbo 3-liter V6, about 400 horsepower. And again, a blast to drive, great looking cars. So yeah, something to consider if you're looking for this kind of a car. And sticking with the fun to drive sports car theme, let's go over to Subaru and the Subaru BRZ. And hey, haven't I seen you somewhere before? Hey, how you doing? So the BRZs are Subaru with Subaru Boxer engines, and this is another car that was a joint venture. There is also a Toyota version, the GR86. They're both great cars. They're priced about the same, and they're identical performance-wise. They start in the high 20s, so under 30,000. 228 horsepower. It's a 2.4-liter Boxer engine, as I mentioned. I think they only come in manual transmission. So this is kind of your fun, basic, no-thrills sports car. So again, great car to drive, fun car to drive, and reasonably priced if you're looking for this kind of a car. So there you have it. This and the Toyota GR86. Another thing you may not know about Subaru loves pets. So another attraction that'll allow adults to bring their children to the car show. We have cute little puppies. And they must be Subaru puppies. They look like Subaru puppies. Anyway, this dog looks like he's getting a little anxious. Wonder what's going on there. Hey, what's the matter? But again, really cute little doggies. Kind of a break from the cars, especially for the kids. And hey, where you going? Come back here. Clean that up. Who's gonna clean that up? Anyway, over to Kia. Now Kias, they're not that exciting. I'm sorry. They're good, dependable, reasonably priced cars, but you can't say that they're really super exciting cars. Again, if you're looking for a reasonably priced car that's good and dependable, they're fine. Here's a Kia Soul, and again, these start under 20,000. So again, you can go to Kia and get a really dependable, reasonably priced car. And here's Hyundai. Kia and Hyundai are kind of together. Actually, Hyundai is the parent company of Kia. And same thing, they're very dependable, reasonably priced cars. Kia and Hyundai are also getting into a lot of electrics, so they have, really, dependable, reasonably priced electrics as well as their other cars. And Kia and Hyundai certainly, in the last decade have become really great, dependable cars, which wasn't the case when they first came into America. You've been hearing screeching of tires for my whole video, and this is why. They're giving indoor thrill rides so you can experience an electric car. And here's a Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. And certainly the electrics have instant torque from 0 to 60. But are they like the old muscle cars? That was the Hellcat Thrill Ride from the Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle about 3 years ago. These electrics just don't sound the same. So that's it from Baltimore. We had a great time, saw a lot of great cars, and we'll be looking forward to coming here again next time. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. Subscribing especially helps. We'll see you next time. Take care.